Okay, so where should I start? I need a mic. So, like I said, I went to New York, and is this thing on? So, I went to New York. It was a blast. Not from the past, it was a new chapter. I feel like it was necessary. How did I get to New York? I went on a Greyhound, and I'm going to use real names because who will stop me? So this is before I was pregnant, right? I'm gonna give you backstory. I was like, yeah, like I'm gonna go to New York. I need to be there. Like I'm a New York girly. This is my vibe. These are my people. Like you gotta follow your vibe to get your tribe, right? So that's what I was doing. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go to New York. I'm gonna just figure out whatever to do when I'm there because I didn't have a room. I only had like 200 bucks. So I drive to the station in my city and I just buy the ticket. I had packed like 2 pairs of pants, a dress. I wore my Chucks, like my black Converse, and I had like a little bit of makeup, some concealer, mascara, foundation, basics. Some got to be glued because I knew it was gonna be hot and my wig was gonna be slipping and sliding. So I had the necessities or whatever. I had some sour candy, my phone, a charger, my iPad, some moleskines, pens, and color pencils, right? So I get on the bus, I'm sitting there, I'm, recording the clips. I'm like, oh my God, what's it gonna be like? We're rolling out of my town. It's cold as heck. It's cold as heaven on that bus. And I'm like, just looking out the window, feeling like such a main character because MC, who else would I be? Watching Tank Girl, I'm starting to doze off. Now we're like 2 or 3 hours into the trip. Like the bus ride was okay, it was whatever. So when I seen the buildings of Philadelphia, like as we're driving across the bridge to like enter there, I'm thinking, oh my God, like this is New York. Like I pull out my phone, I'm getting all excited, my heart's like racing. I'm thinking, oh my God, like I'm finally here. No, girl, it was Philly. Stop. We had like 4 more hours, turns out, of the ride. So a couple hours later, we start to arrive. It's like dark outside, and I just get to see all the lights of like the border of New York. And I was shook to the core. Like, I felt like I was like dying and being reborn. Like, no cap. Like, all of the unborn babies in my body were cheering me on. They were like, yes, girl, like, this is where you're supposed to be. Like, I'm finally here. Like that was how I was feeling. It was feeling like a coming of age moment. So as we're pulling in, I'm like, oh my gosh, I see an NYPD truck. I see the Manhattan sign. I see like all the cars like cutting each other off. And I'm just getting excited, right? Pulling up to the stop where they like drop us off, and like I was kind of thinking, okay, well, where am I going to sleep now? Because like I said, I only had 200 bucks. So like a hotel room, not really on the list. But I decided once I got off the bus and I was like walking around for like the first 5 minutes, I was breathing the air, I was smelling the piss. I didn't see a roach or a rat yet, so I was still kind of like feeling invincible. And then I start walking a little bit and I see like this group of young people like just sitting. You know how New Yorkers just, it really is a city that never sleeps. Like it was like almost 2 a.m. and people were just sitting outside, just cooling, booling, like whatever, you know? So I see a group of young people. I'm feeling like, should I approach them? No, I was just in my main character mood. So I just walked near them because I'm not gonna, like, of course, I was kind of recording a little bit, but I didn't want to seem like this totally naive non-New Yorker who's just amazed by every single thing, like a stop sign, even though I totally was. So I was like, I'm not gonna carry these 2 big ass bags around and look like a freaking tourist. No. So I abandoned like one bag full of my belongings, a couple pieces of clothing, you know. But it's gone now, so it is what it is. I look so good. But anyway, once I threw that bag away, ended up having my moleskines in it, but they were watching me because of course, main character, like you're kind of always the center of attention. So, like I said, ditch those bags. Then I went to go get some water because I was feeling lightheaded because I was just vaping and eating sour candy the whole bus ride. So I go to this Chinese place. New York does not have public restrooms. And the lady, sees me and she's like, okay, how can I help you? And I'm like, yeah, just water. Thank you. I get a bottle of water. I use the bathroom. I touch up my makeup. I go back on the street. I'm exploring. My goal is to find a rooftop to sleep on and a bridge, either to sleep on or to just look at and like really feel the vibes. So I'm looking for the bridge. I'm walking, walking, walking. The next thing I know, I am like sitting in the middle of this crosswalk, like just sitting there looking at the traffic pass by. And then I get this like text message. I'm gonna insert it right here. And I'm like, but I'm not scared at all because you can't be scared in New York. So I'm like, okay, they're looking at my journal. Cool, I'm not going back. But then I was also like, wait, they might be able to have this type of like place for me to sleep, or like know somebody that knows somebody, or like maybe they can like point me to a rooftop or a bridge or something. So I go back, and the girl who was reading my diary, my journal, whatever, this insert that I had written, this kind of emotional, like, I guess you could say emotional insert, whatever. She was reading it in the picture that was sent to me from the number, and I call it, and they're like, yeah, we're here, like meet us back here where I literally started at. So at this point, I'm like, oh, like I was here to explore, not really go around in circles, but whatever. So I end up going back there looking for opportunity, and the girl who was holding my journal doesn't say anything when she sees me walk back to exactly where I was and where I dropped the journal. Then next thing you know, like 5 seconds later, as I'm starting to leave and walk away, she finally gets up the courage to say something. So she's pretty, big eyes, lash extensions, giving very much clean girl aesthetic. And she's like, is this your journal, Majesty? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, okay, so I'm connecting the dots. Like the way that they were able to call me and text me or whatever with my journal info is because in the beginning of Moleskines, you can put your name and your number, like contact information if it ever gets lost. So that's how they got that. And then I want to change the angle. Once I get there, she's like, Majesty? And I'm like, yeah. And she hands me the journals. It's like three, because it's like a sketchbook, journal, planner, whatever, bullshit. And they're pretty much empty because most guys I throw them out like rice. And she's like, here you go. I didn't read it. I didn't read it. I didn't read it. Like, bitch, literally the guy, whoever like took it, because in the notebook I wrote my number and then I wrote negotiable just to be funny because my mom always says that in the beginning of her Moleskines. And she was like, yeah, they like the boys that they were hanging out with. It was like 2 girls and a group of guys, and they all looked dirty and sketchy, which is why I did not talk to them. But of course, they were eyeing me because I'm MC. Anyway, I don't have any beef. It's New York, it's the whole experience. So she's like, yeah, I didn't read your journal. I didn't read your journal. So I'm like, okay, okay. She keeps saying it. I'm like, okay. So we walk away from the guys, which just confirmed to me that they are nosy and suspicious and sketchy. Like, bitch, I get it. Like, we have boyfriends who are toxic and like we still hang out with them, but like those are boy friends, I'm assuming, unless one of them is your ex, and that's why the other girl was acting salty. But like, I don't even want them. Story of my life. Anyway, so she gives me the books. We're sitting on this table on the side of the road because where else would we really sit in New York? And she's like, yeah, like I see that you're like such a good girl. They were asking me where I'm from, like really wanting to know, because obviously they could tell I'm not from here. And I'm like, yeah, I'm from the South. I'm looking for a roof to sleep on. No information about the roof. So at that point, I was like, okay, you're giving me the journals. I don't want the journals. You're saying you didn't read it. I don't care. I'm looking for a roof. You're not telling me where it is. So I'm about to dip. They say bye. I say bye. She's like, oh, be safe. Like, I really wish you well out here. Like, I could tell that she was like touched because obviously, if you read the journal insert and you saw what I was talking about, you'd probably be like, oh, this is such a sensitive girl. Like, she's coming to New York to like start anew, and she just left her baby and she misses her baby. And like, she's on the Greyhound on the way here to like have this whole new experience. Like, yeah. So anyway, we part ways. I'm walking some more, walk. About like an hour later, I'm pretty much back where I was again because I'm like going in circles because I don't know where the fuck I am. I took a picture of the subway because I finally discovered the subway, but I didn't go in it because I don't know how to ride the subway. So next thing I know, as I'm walking to like, I guess just sleep on a porch somewhere, I hear this like red car drive past me, and they get to like the stoplight, and I'm walking the other way, but then so like I'm walking this way, and then the car's going this way, and then a person like hangs out of the car, very much no scrub vibe, but he was the friend in the passenger, like red flag number one. But anyway, like I said, my goal was rooftop bridge. So he's like, trying to slide on me or whatever, and I'm like, okay. So, what happened? He was like, yeah. He gets out of the car, walks to me. I'm basically like not interested at all, not afraid to show them body language, and he's like, you're pretty. What's up, ma? Like, I got this rooftop party I'm about to go to with my friends over there. Like, I just want to buy you a drink, show you a good time. And I was like, rooftop party? Rooftop? Let's go. But I can't act like let's go because then, guys are like sharks, so you can't look like prey. You can't look easy. So I was like, okay, fine. So I follow him over across the street. His friend's parked. Turns out it's his cousins, whatever. They're Haitian. He has an accent. He speaks French. So we're standing outside of the club, and I pull out my ID because the bouncer's like, you need an ID to get in. So I pull out my ID, and at this point, let me give you a info of what I'm wearing. Big, basic white tee, blue jeans, rips loose. I look like Kurt Cobain, but the black female version. My hair is tied up in a clip in the back of my head. I'm barely wearing any makeup. I'm carrying a bag and a pile of clothes. Not really a pile, but 2 pieces of clothes in my hand. So I hand the bouncer my ID. The boy that called me over does not have his ID. So we're standing in the line, holding up the line because he's trying to convince the guy to let him in without his ID. What am I going to give his name? Scrub. So Scrub is like, bro, like, I don't have ID, like, let me in, like, trying to convince him or whatever. And at this point, I'm getting bored, and his cousin is looking at me, trying to figure me out. And so I'm just giving him little tidbits of information, like, yeah, I'm from the South. Yeah, I'm hood, but I'm a little classy because he was asking me questions. And so blah, 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 blah. Like 10 minutes later, his other cousin comes, gives him a fake ID. We get in. We go to the rooftop. Next thing I know, all eyes are on me. If I'm sounding, it is what it is. I don't really care how it sounds. All eyes are on me. I'm just trying to, stay cool, calm, collected. The girls, I don't fit in with them because I'm not wearing anything that they're wearing. So I go to the bathroom, I take off my jeans, and I just wear the oversized t-shirt as a dress with my black Converse. Next thing I know, he's asking me, what do I want to drink? So I'm like, Chardonnay. That's the only thing I really drank back home anyway. And I'm not really a drinker, so it had to be something that I know, right? They pour me some Chardonnay. I'm drinking it. It's a vibe. It's Haitian music playing. And his cousins are looking. They're like, trying to figure me out once again. And, then what? Then I'm like, I want to go over here. So as we're dancing, we dance over to the other side of the club. The roof is completely open. Never seen no shit like this before in my whole entire life. And I'm just looking up, just listening to the music, feeling bad for the people who live next to this club because it's just loud music blasting all fucking night long. Like, me, a New Yorker, I need to own a home and a car. And I can't live next to a club. But, yeah, so I'm like my third Chardonnay. I'm like, I need to take a break. He's like all up in my face. Thank God he didn't have stink breath. Like, he was so fucking close, and I'm just looking at everybody approach me, like, eyeing me. Then this one guy approaches me, and I'm like, I just point to the scrub, and he's like, oh, okay. But he kept looking at me, even as he was dancing with other girls, and I was like, actually, like, you look better than Scrub. Like, I should have just fucked with you, but my goal was, like I said, somewhere to sleep. So I'm like, I can just use Scrub for somewhere to sleep, which is exactly what happened. So I tell him I'm ready to leave. He came with his cousins for some reason, another red flag. So he didn't have his own car. We couldn't just bust about that bitch. So anyway, he is like, okay, she's ready to leave. We end up leaving because the club's about to close anyway. And we're like going down the stairs, we're getting into his cousin's car, and they start arguing, him and like this other bald-headed guy that turns out, like I said, his cousin. And the bald-headed guy, will call him Jollof. So Scrub and Jollof are going back and forth, and then there's the quiet cousin, we'll call him Water, because he just goes with the flow. So Water's driving, Jollof is yelling at Scrub in the backseat with me, and then Scrub like brings up something about bitch, and then they start laughing, and I'm like, I really don't give a fuck, I'm just using you. So I don't really care what you say as long as you don't call me a bitch. But of course I can't say that because guys like insecure guys, I can tell. And I could tell that he was insecure. So if I was to like really show my true colors, they would see me as competition, which keep that in mind. So I'm riding in the back seat. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna get you a room tonight because I told him I need somewhere to sleep. Because I told him at first, when I first met him, like even before I agreed to go in the club, I was just looking for some like rooftop to sleep on. And he was like, oh man. And I guess like he thought I was joking, but I'm dead ass. Anyway, so he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get her a room, like just take me to my car. So I'm like, oh, he's got a car. So we go to his cousin's house, they use the bathroom, they drop us off in his car. Then in between the transition, as I'm sitting in his car, in Scrub's car, I see him go back to Jolof's window, and they're like talking, and then they start arguing. Jollof and Water speed off. This is my last time seeing them for the whole trip. So me and Scrub are in the car, we're driving away now, and we get to this gas station, and he's like pulling out this white stuff. I'm like, what? And he offers it to me. So what do I do? What do I do? I do it. I do a little bit of the white stuff. I do just one, and I'm like, this hurts. Like, why does anybody do this ever? And yeah, I do a little bit of the white stuff. And then he's like, drive. Like, can you drive? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So I start driving. My nose is burning. My mouth is starting to feel throbby. And I'm like, okay, so I just checked this off my to-do list because I wanted to do the white stuff for like a year. I've been speaking it into existence. I did it, and I'm like not really feeling anything. I start driving, we get on the interstate, blah, 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 blah. We're driving towards the room. We get the room, I'm still drinking, and once we get there, we do things, and then we wake up in the morning, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't have any tissue. I don't have anything to wash my face with. I don't have a toothbrush. I don't have underwear. I only have a change of clothes. So he's like, okay, I'll go get you stuff. Let's go to Target. So we go to Target. Then we have to renew the car. We go there. Then we go, I'm trying to figure out like what do I want to recap. Then we go to Popeyes because in New York, I didn't see one Cookout. I didn't see one Wawa. I didn't see one Bojangles. I didn't see one Walmart. They just have Target and 7-Elevens. No Royal Farms. Anyway, so we go to Target. I get mascara, foundation, lip gloss, new nails, French tips, not these though, and face wash, deodorant, girly things, underwear, changing clothes, whatever. We get in the car, we go back to the hotel room, we get dressed for the day. I put on this super cute red dress that I had to leave in the hotel room. I will explain that later. And then we go downtown because I'm like, okay, you want to do your thing? I'm just gonna go home because he told me like he had to go to work. He didn't want to cancel his shift for that day. And I'm like, yeah, cool. We just met last night. Like, we had fun. I had somewhere to sleep. I want to go see the museum before I go home. Like, whatever. I'll book my bus ticket. This time, I still have my bank card. or at least I thought I still had my bank card. So I'm like, yeah, cool, just drop me off back in the city because we were in like Queens or Brooklyn or something. We were not in anywhere near Manhattan, like an hour away. So we start heading back to the city. We go get this piece of slice. It took a whole 30 minutes to find parking. Child, please. Anyway, and we were eating the pizza. I was just enjoying the New York vibes. And what happened? We did some more of that white stuff in the front seat on the middle of the street, and I was like, New York is crazy. Like, I'm a whole different girl here. Then I realized I don't have my bank card. I don't have my bank card. I don't have my bank card. How am I gonna get home? Oh my god. So I'm like PMSing in the front seat, and he's like, wait, baby, I got you. Like, I'm gonna go to the bank. I'm gonna get this cash. Like, so he goes to the bank. He gets the cash. He gives it to me. I'm like, oh. And then he's like, well, since we can't make it to the bus station to buy your ticket, because at that time I didn't know that there was literally a bus station where they dropped me off at where I could buy the ticket, I ended up staying for the day. As I'm staying for the day, we go back out of the city because he hates being in the city for some reason. I gotta poop. I'll be right back. We go to the bank. He gives me the cash. Where was I at? And we're driving out of the city. So as we're driving out of the city, we're like high off the white stuff, and I did it like 2 more times. So I wasn't feeling like, you know how they say that it makes you like energetic, or apparently I was not feeling energetic. I was feeling very much just like zen, like super zen. And then he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna get you another room, but I want to go gambling with my friends. So I'm like, okay. Now we end up going to the gambling place. I drive because he claims that I'm like this gangster boo, and he likes when I drive because I drive fast. Whatever. So I'm driving there high, drunk, because we're mixing substances, craziness. And as we get there, he's like, just come. Oh my god, can I talk? He's like, yeah, whatever money I win, I'm gonna give it to you. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I hope you win. I'm gonna just shut up and let you work, right? So as we get there, where it's huge. It's huge. It's huge. It's huge. Like, I just wanted to emphasize that because I guess me being from like Virginia, like a small town in Virginia, it's just like I don't see stuff like that. So the place looked like a freaking airport, and it was just full of like slot machines and vending machines. Like, it was multiple stories. It looked like a hotel. It was bigger than a hotel because it was insane. It looked like a mall, but it was full. It was just for gambling, and they had like live performers in there. Like, it looked like something out of a movie. Like, but anyway, we get up to like the top floor, and we're getting out of the car. We're going to the elevator. We get inside. He introduces me to his friend. I'm feeling very much like Lana Del Rey and the, what's that song? Off to the Races. I'm feeling very much like her. And I'm just on his side, silently sipping alcohol. Well, I wasn't sipping yet because we had ended up walking through, met his family, gave him dap, met his friend, gave him dap. And then we go to like the bar. We're gambling. And there's like live performers there at the bar, like right where you buy your drink at. And once again, all eyes on me. I was just always the center of attention. The reason I keep narrating this is because he would always compliment me and be like, you're so beautiful, like, you just steal the show, you're like so gorgeous, like, do you have any flaws? Like, you're like my dream girl, you're like everything I want, and like you have the perfect figure, your pee is so good, and like, what else did he say? Like, he was just like on my dick, like he was like kissing my A like the whole time, right? Ever since the club, ever since the street, really. And he was like, yeah, you're like the best looking girl here, you don't even have to do too much. And he wasn't lying, but like, why are you being like all on my D like that, Keep that in mind. So as we're, at the bar thing, we're buying the drink. I decided I don't want to drink. I'll just sip yours. And he gave it to me. So as we're walking over, he's starting to play the slides, or at least trying to. But this is another key thing. His bank card, gone. The whole trip, gone. So whenever we would go buy something, because I'm not spending my money, whenever he went to go buy something for me, it was always like this either or type of thing, because we didn't know if they would accept Apple Pay or not. So he couldn't play the vending machine things because his card didn't work. And I was full of it. I was just over it, because 24 to 30 hours before that, everywhere we go, it was like if or, maybe only if your card will work. And I was just sick of it. I just wanted to go. I was already tired and like cold and just over it. I just wanted to lay in a bed. You wanted to have sex with me? Cool. Oh my God, I'm gonna cut that out. But yeah, like I just wanted to go back to the room and chill. So I told him I want to go, and we left. His friends and his family, we left them. And as soon as we started to leave, he was like, "You want hungry? You want something?" And I was like, "Yeah." We go to Popeyes. It's nasty. But anyway, so we leave the vending place. We're driving. He's like, "You're so cool," as we're listening to like MGK and Young Thug. And then we get to the hotel. Turns out we can't check in because his card, they don't accept Apple Pay. Do you have cash card? No. So then we have to go back to his cousin, get his cousin's card to book the room. We get in the room. I'm like, oh, this is slightly nicer. We do more white stuff. He's trying to have sex with me. And I'm just like, no, because I'm sore from the first night. I don't want to do it. Then he gets salty. This is when tables turn. He turns over on his side and goes to sleep instead of trying to cuddle me or anything like we did last night. And I'm like, oh, he's really salty. Like, that's what I'm saying. Girls, if you have a good pee, in these men will think that they are entitled. They start to get addicted. They really be thinking like it's all theirs. Baby, this is mine. And sex is something to be enjoyed. I'm not finna just make you proud or give you pleasure if I'm not getting anything. I'm not finna be in pain so you can feel good. Like, you're bugged out. You're tweaked. You're really like out of this world. You need to come back down to earth, buddy. The answer is N-O. And I said what I said. And that's a PSA for all the girls. That is yours. That is you. You choose what you want to do with it. Must be out of his dang mind. You can go ahead and be mad. Next thing I know, I wake up periodically throughout the night and he's still turned over. Then he tried to cuddle me. Then he turned over. Then I wake up, I hear African music, whatever, playing. And he's like, yeah, I'm about to go to work, but I'll be back to take you to the bus station, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I'll see you later. I go back to sleep. I wake up. I hear room service. He's like, yeah, it's checkout time. I text him immediately. I'm like, they're saying it's checkout time. Where are you? I don't know where to go. Mind you, I'm an hour away from where I was dropped off by the Greyhound. So he declines my call and then texts me and says, I'm with my son. I'll call you back. Mind you, before this, he was telling me in the car, like when we were doing the white stuff the day before, like, nobody comes before my son. And so I was like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. But it's still a matter of respect. Just like you iterated that it's about your son, I care about respect. So if the tables were turned and you were relying on me and a promise that you made, I would make sure that I keep that promise. So if I say I'm going to get you to the bus station, I'm going to get you to the bus station. He said he would get me to the bus station. He did not get me to the bus station. So what did I do? I had to strap on my big girl boots. I left another bag, some more clothes, and I left the room. I left the blankets, the pillows, the gifts that he brought me the night before in the room. So whoever and whatever the room service did with it, I don't know, but it's gone. And oh girl, I need to puff. That just So yeah, I keep changing the angle. What happened? So I was like, all right, well, I'm on my own again. I figure out how to ride the subway, and I make my way back into town. And I'm like, okay, I'm feeling good. You know, most things in my life happen with me being like thrust into them, and then I learn. You know, so that was just another lesson. Now I know how to ride the subway for when I come back. Don't need a nigga for nothing. But anyway, I'm riding through the subway. It's like a whole other world down there. So when I finally came back up to like regular Earth level, I was like, oh my God, like look at all these people. Like, it's so cool. Um, what happened next? I went and got a pizza. I was walking through the city. I was looking at art. I was looking at clothing. I went into like a vintage store. I went to Starbucks. I wrote some songs. This is me just killing time because I arrived back in the city like around like 2, so I had like 3 hours until I had to board the bus to go home. So I had blocked his number before I even got in the subway because I was like, that's really weird, you know. Blocked his number and, you know, wasted time basically. Boarded the bus and was heading on my way home. By the time I got home, he was still blocked. I drove home, got home next day. I unblocked his number because I woke up to this like notification that he sent me money because he wanted to send me money to get a passport so that I could come see him more because he knows that I'm not from there. So he like sent me money through the app, but my card wasn't connected. So as I realized that my card wasn't connected, I texted him and I'm like, hey, don't send me more money through the app because my card isn't connected. Like I'm not gonna be able to receive it. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. Like not cool, but he just says K. So I'm like, niggas, you know. I'm like, oh, you salty, like you really salty, like it's giving salt and vinegar chips, like, okay. So I'm like, it's giving salt and vinegar chips, like you really doing a whole lot, but definitely not doing nearly enough. So I just let that sit, and then I was like, wait, I'm not gonna let that sit, I'm gonna let you know. So I told him exactly how I felt. I called him out and I said, you're a weirdo. I said, don't try to act like that was cool. I told him exactly what he did wrong. And then he still was like being petty about it. So I'm like, okay, thanks for showing your true colors. Block and delete. Haven't texted him since. Won't be texting him again. But it's like, you're ugly. Not only on the inside, also on the outside. And I gave you a chance. But then I was realizing like I had to come back to center and like realize who I am. I gave you a chance because I saw an advantage. You wanted something, I wanted something. We both had a good time. I left safely, peacefully, got home safely and peacefully. So what am I really here to trip about? Next. But anyway, that was my New York trip. Using Pretty Privilege, swipe that card the whole way through. Oh. Yeah, that was it. It was fun. It was nice. It was cool. Definitely gonna go back with more money. Definitely gonna go back to have more parties. Definitely gonna end up moving there, me and Nico. Yeah, it was fun. Anything else that I want to say? I love the art. I love the architecture. I definitely want to see the museums next time I go. And I definitely want to go to like a pop-up event or something. And yeah. Let me go before she throw a fit. Bye, y'all. I cannot believe